And welcome to this week's Stronger, Leaner, Lighter Christmas show. Today, I'm sharing with you my top 7 hacks to help you enjoy Christmas without restriction and without gaining more visceral fat. Let's get started. Hello, can you believe it's the 1st of December? Welcome to the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter show today. A little bit different format. I'm actually going to share some slides with you today. StreamYard have just introduced a new facility that allows you to do that. I'm going to be sharing with you about the next 20 to 30 minutes my favorite hacks to help you get through Christmas without gaining any more weight. And in fact, maybe you want to start right now and release some of that visceral fat. I'm going to share a little bit about that more as we go along. All right. Do you know, I'm a great believer that Christmas is all about enjoyment, not restriction. I love Christmas, love everything about it. And I love the lead up to it. You know, one of my favorite things is the lead up to Christmas, you know, that sort of starts around about now, or you might have had it starting already with Christmas parties. And it seems to me that everybody sort of rushes to get all these Christmas parties done before the 10th or 11th of December, thinking everybody's going to be busy. And sort of, I don't know about you, but we seem to have a lot on in this next couple of weeks. So I'm going to share with you some hacks that can help you get through this time without gaining any more of that visceral fat. And I'm going to share with you the reason why. All right, let's talk quickly about 2020, 2021, 2022, and what's actually gone on. It just seems surreal, doesn't it? That really just a little while ago, we were talking about 2020 as if it was going to be this great beginning of a brand new decade with so much possibility. And of course, wow, come March 2020, everything changed. And then we thought, well, leading into 2021, it's going to be different. And I saw so many people say last year, can't wait for 2021 because it's going to be totally different. It's going to be my year. These people say it all the time. And of course, it didn't happen. It just got worse. Now, as we're leading into 2022, I can't see this changing. And because of that, people are developing this stress, anxiety, uncertainty, fear, anger, frustration, and this kind of low-grade stress that we're constantly living with because there's so much uncertainty. We never quite know what's going to happen next. And when that happens, your body moves into that flight and fight response. Our stress hormone, cortisol, and adrenaline are there to protect you in times of stress and fear and uncertainty. That's what they're there for. So when we're in that stress mode, that fear, that stress, that anger, that anxiety creates hormone response. Now that goes back to the claw and fang jungle days where that was important. When you were in an area where you were stressed or in fear or uncertain of something, the hormones, cortisol and adrenaline were pumped through the body. Now, at the same time, what happens when those hormones are high is that every other system in your body shuts down. Your ability to think clearly shuts down. Actually, your digestive system shuts down. In order for you to send blood flow to the arms and the legs, in order for you to do something, to stand and fight that saber-toothed tiger that was coming after you, a couple of thousand years ago, or be prepared to fight. But we don't do anything with that. We're constantly living in this stress and fear. Now, what happens is when that blood flow rushes to the arms and the legs and you kill the saber-toothed tiger or run for it or whatever you want to do, then the hormones would calm down. The blood flow would return to the heart, to the digestive system, to the brain, because all that energy was released. But what we do now is we don't do anything. We're sitting in this stress and anxiety and uncertainty. All the while, those hormones, because of the stress, because of the uncertainty, because of the fear, because of the frustration, your body's still producing them. But because we're not doing anything about it, what the body then does, is lay them down as in the body as visceral fat. You're going to hear me talking about visceral fat. I don't know what happened to my slide there, but I'll read you through it. Now, why is visceral fat such an issue? Well, because visceral fat is linked to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, some cancers, Alzheimer's. And when we're talking about this virus, whether you have been vaccinated or not, you're 137% more time to end up in ICU with more than 10% visceral fat, and 130% more time likely to end up to be mechanically ventilated, according to a study. Now, the problem with visceral fat is what it does is it wraps itself around the organs in the body. This is different from subcutaneous fat. In the past, we would talk about subcutaneous. At Christmas time, you gain that few extra kilos, and that subcutaneous fat was not an issue because we knew, all right, well, I'm going to enjoy myself from December right through to mid-January. And then, when everything settles down, the kids go back to school and we'll get out of summer. Then I'm going to start eating well. Then I'm going to start, going on some type of detox diet or exercising or join a gym or whatever. In fact, when I was in the fitness industry, February was a big time for us because people would sign up for the gym to try and get rid of their Christmas weight. But this is different. This is different. You cannot just release visceral fat, just diet and exercise alone. It's a lot more complicated. And I'm going to share with you how you do that and why I really focus on not dieting and not intensive exercise, but a whole heap of other things, the 10 principles of wellness, because this visceral fat is now one of the leading causes of severe outcomes with SARS-CoV-2. And the next one, the reason why, this was a study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, April 2021. Why this is not mainstream media is beyond me. And then that's for a whole other show, really, isn't it? Because this stuff isn't published or isn't made aware. People are not made aware of it. Now, this was a study done over 48,000 people who had been diagnosed with SARS-CoV-2 between April 2020 and October 2020. This study took place in England and in Europe. What they uncovered was shocking. People who were consistently inactive, like people who didn't exercise regularly, were 226% more likely to be hospitalized, 173% more likely to be admitted to ICU, and 149% more likely to die. These are people who were not active. That was all that they focused on. It's an incredible study and kind of just surfacing now. So you've got issues with visceral fat that's caused by stress, anxiety, overwhelm, and you've got this issue where we're not exercising enough. And this is why leaving looking after your health until after Christmas is not an option any longer. You just can't do that. We are about to open borders. We are about to allow international travelers to come through outdoors. And, I liken it to, when the kids, your kids were little and they first started at preschool or daycare and they got sick a lot and they brought it all home and everybody ended up with ear infections and runny noses and colds and whatever was going around. We've been all, in this country in particular, living in a bubble where we haven't had access to not only SARS-CoV-2 and now new strain, whatever the heck that is, but other viruses that are just part of life, colds and flu and just general viruses, because we've been living in a bubble. So, the whole way of thinking about, okay, I'm going to leave this until I'm going to look after myself in January. You can't afford it. That type of thinking went out with lycra leotards, headbands, and leg warmers. And yes, that is me circa 1983, when I thought my arms were fat. Give me a break. Wish they were that fat now. But that we can't have that way. This whole mentality is like, I'll wait till after Christmas. You can't do that. You can't. You do not want to be adding any more visceral fat to your body right now. You do not want to be not exercising regularly. You don't want to be eating foods, and then I'm going to share all these hacks with you in a minute, because as you know, Christmas isn't about restriction. And if I said to you, you have to diet over Christmas, yeah, right. It's enjoyment. But in the lead up to Christmas, right through Christmas and right through February, if you really focus on your health and well-being with these 7 simple hacks I'm about to share with you, you're not going to gain any more visceral belly fat. And in fact, you may start to lose it, because really later is too late. If you wait, it's too late. Our borders are about to be open. Can I ask you this? Your health is your responsibility. If you're out of action for 6 to 8 weeks through whatever virus might come through our borders, what does that mean for your family? What does that mean for your business if you were out of action for that period of time? And if for those of you who are saying, I'm going on holidays, how awful would that be if you were unwell after you've waited all this time to go somewhere? So that's why I want to share with you, and many of you have been on this show before, when I talk about the 10 principles of wellness. And what I'm going to do is share with you 7 of those today, the 7 hacks that work in with the principles of wellness. Now, these principles I developed, I've had over 40 years experience. Shocking, isn't it? 40 years experience in health and wellness with a little break in the middle through autism. And so these have been developed over 40 years. And what I teach now is all about caring for your health and your body long term, not a diet you go on and come off, because studies have shown if you do that, if you're going to diet, 97.5% of people who diet, in other words, restrict food, will put on the weight within a year, and usually more. So you don't want to go down that track. But by following the 10 principles of wellness, what it is it's a way that you can continue to do this throughout your life, for the rest of your life. These are principles. There's no fads in here. It's all principles. So let's get to hack number 1. All right, hack number 1 in the principle number 1, eat consciously, is there's 2 things in here I want to really focus on for this particular show. One is intuitive. Now, there's a real difference between telling yourself that you're going to eat whatever I want over Christmas, because I'm going to restrict myself. I'm going to go on a diet up in January. There's a switch that goes on in your brain. Is, oh, wow, I better eat up. I better eat quickly because she's going to starve me. And when you do that, it's like you can't stop. Whereas intuitive eating, and something that I teach, I've been teaching this for, so long now. When you eat intuitively, what you're doing is asking your body what it needs. What you're doing is that you are trusting your body. What you are doing is you are listening to your body. Now, a lot of people say to me, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that because, what if I just eat anything I want? Well, the thing is, your intuition doesn't let you down. It doesn't let you down. Your intuition is there to protect you. The difference between intuitive eating and you think I'm going to eat anything I want, just overeat, is conditioning. That's the stories you're telling yourself. Intuitive eating is where you are listening to what your body wants. I want you to imagine you've got a big buffet table in front of you with all the great Christmas foods. You've got turkey, you've got ham, you've got prawns, you've got pavlova, you've got plum pudding, you've got, what else would be on there? Chocolates. I love those chocolates at Christmas, right? Scorched almonds. I don't buy them before. They won't make them till Christmas. And you've got wine and champagne and cocktails. I want you to imagine all that in front of you for a minute. And I want you to think to yourself, what if I am never going to restrict my food again? What if I'm just going to allow myself to make any choices along here because I'm not going to restrict myself? Can I tell you there's something that goes on in the body when that happens? There's something that goes on in the body. And it's like a 2-year-old. If you take a child's toy away at 2, tell them they can't have it, the fuss. If you just let them have it, just gently and easily without making a big deal with it. They're quite happy. Same with us. The other aspect to this is informed. I'm going to share a little bit more about that more, but understanding what causes inflammation in your body, the foods that cause inflammation, really critical for understanding what foods work for you. And really in intuitive eating, that's what we cover, is really looking at, okay, how does this food make me feel? And then it becomes a choice, not a restriction. One of the things I think is really key is, and I've done a show on this before, and that's looking at foods that are created with industrial seed oils, commonly called vegetable oils, which, funny, last time I looked, sunflower wasn't a vegetable. But anyway, we've done a whole show on this before, that the impact on the body in creating inflammation. So over Christmas, you want to look at foods that are mostly predominantly industrial seed oils and ask yourself, am I willing to put this chemical in my body that my body doesn't know how to deal with? Industrial seed oils are manufactured in an industrial complex. They're heated up so high, they're put in a big vat, and then they add a freshener to them because they smell so bad. And when you're eating foods like that, your body cells just don't know what to do with it. So it's looking at, okay, how can I limit that? That doesn't mean not having fats. Fats are good for you. So things like avocados, salmon, olive oils, pecans, walnuts, anything with that good quality fats. Lots of seafoods, really good at Christmas. And you want to be looking at wild caught fish if you can. I know it's difficult sometimes. And you also be looking at free range chicken and free range turkey and duck, which is another great protein to be eating over Christmas. So you want to increase your impact of good quality fats for most of the time. And you also want to be looking at free range when you can. All right, hack number 2, fast intermittently. This is such a simple practice to implement over Christmas. Simple, simple, simple. I hear so many people say to me, oh, well, I just eat so much over Christmas. No, you don't. We think we do, but we really don't. You might, if you're going out for a cocktail party and people are handing around those sort of fried little, spring rolls and things, you're not going to have 100 of them. You'll only have maybe half a dozen. That doesn't throw your good eating off the track. If you're eating intuitively, you learn how to eat intuitively, you're only going to have one chocolate, not the whole pack. If you're in restriction, though, you will. But fasting intermittently, I teach 2 methods. One is 12-12. So you fast in a period of 12 hours and eat window of 12 hours and 16-8. So easy to do Christmas Day and the lead up to it. So you fast for 16 hours simply means you're going to skip breakfast, and then you're going to eat in a window of 8. Simple. Now, what's really important here is it creates autophagy. So if you are going out and you are eating foods you would normally eat, and maybe you're having a few extra wines during the week, maybe champagne and cocktail and all that stuff, when you fast, your cells work to help decrease the toxins, to get the toxins out of the body. Really important. And it reduces inflammation again, which is that leading to visceral fat in particular. Now, the other thing about fasting intermittently is it increases brain function, especially executive brain function. Will stop you getting as overwhelmed because you'll be able to think more clearly. But I wanted to share a couple of things with you that can really, really ramp up your fasting and especially breaking the fast. Number 1 is to start with lemon and ginger hot water. I've been doing this practice maybe 6 years now. I use doTERRA oils, ginger and lemon, but you can steep your own ginger and your own lemon. I find it a bit tart. I find if I just add a drop of lemon oil and a drop of ginger oil, it's just beautiful. And I have that every morning while I'm fasting. So it improves your immunity, helps strengthen your digestive system, helps regulate sugar levels, and may keep hunger pangs at bay. Great if you're intermittent fasting. Ginger improves your body to ability to absorb fat. So it really helps to help you release that visceral belly fat, and also keeps you in an alkaline state, which reduces chronic inflammation. Again, that word inflammation keeps coming up again and again, and you want to be looking often as you can to reduce that inflammation. I wanted to share with you a couple of products that I've been using lately. One is New Skin's Age Lock Green Shake. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely brilliant, this green shake, full of chlorella, spirulina, beet powder, among other things, which are give you all the green nutrients plus 15 grams of protein. Great way to stop. I'm going to share some recipes with you in a minute, but a great way to make sure you're getting your protein when you come off the fast, but also you're getting those green nutrients. They've got two products, TR90 Fit and Control. The Fit helps your body continue to build on lean muscle mass, and the TR Control will help with sugar cravings. Great products to add. But I want to share with you some of the recipes that you can use with the green shakes that can really ramp up your Christmas. Number one, this is my favorite. This is how I finish. I finish every fast with one of these. I love it, but in Christmas time you can add a little bit more. So it's just a scoop of the green protein powder with almond or macadamia milk, frozen banana, or you could add other blueberries, strawberries, peanut butter if you want. I'm not fussed on peanut butter, but Jerry really likes it. And a tablespoon of organic cacao. Can I tell you, it is just like a chocolate milkshake. Now, if you gave this to the kids because you're worried about what they're going to eat Christmas morning and perhaps Boxing Day or Christmas Eve or when your family gets together, they're going to think Mum's gone loopy. Mum's giving us a chocolate milkshake for breakfast. But by having that chocolate or that smoothie for their breakfast, or giving them that, they're getting that boost of antioxidants and all the green nutrients they need, and then you can kind of let them go and eat whatever they want Christmas, because you know that they've had this really good start. The second, you know how people say to you, you say, what can I bring for dessert? And you'll say, I'll bring rum balls or Cointreau balls or Bailey's balls. Now, you can use the protein powder together with rolled oats and cacao and pecans, nuts, dates, blueberries to make beautiful, delicious protein balls. Let me tell you, not only are you reducing sugar, you're also getting another boost of that protein, but your friends are going to think you're wonderful. And, it says half a cup, but, you could get a little heavy-handed on that if you wanted. Great thing. And the last thing I'm going to share with you, if you are hosting, say, Christmas Eve or Christmas morning at your house, this is a great alternative to an acai bowl. A cup of coconut yogurt, a quarter of a scoop of green smoothie powder, add all the fruits, pistachio nuts, cacao nibs, and desiccated coconut. Oh, yum. Absolutely beautiful. And you could just sneak in a little mimosa on the side. And once again, you're getting that really good green nutrients, no sugar, you're not adding to that visceral fat, and you're still enjoying Christmas. All right, let's go to hack number 3, shall we? Now, getting back to what I was talking about that study done with the British Journal of Sports Medicine, exercise is essentially important over Christmas. You cannot say, I'm not going to exercise. Now, most people don't exercise because it takes too long. But in order to help continue to build the lean muscle mass, which increases your metabolism, in order to stay fit and healthy and increase your posture, adding exercise to your day is exceptionally important. Of course, reduces the risk of virus severity. The other thing is about it, for many of us, we sit hunched over a computer for too long. Our posture is poor. You want to know how to lose 2 kilograms quickly? Stand up straight. I can see you all sitting up straight right now. But you need time. Then what I've done is I've created a 9-minute workout in the program I'm going to share with you at the end. 9 minutes. That's it. Where you get your strength, your form, your flexibility, your aerobics, which is done through what we call HIIT, high intensity interval training. And it will ramp up your caloric burn. So you'll be burning more calories through the day with this particular exercise by adding dumbbells. We do major muscle group where you're working your major muscles, increase that lean muscle mass, plus HIIT, the high intensity interval training aerobics. And you're going to get that workout done and dusted in 9 minutes. Get the kids to do it with you. Challenge them to see how many push-ups they can do. Keeps you focused. All right, hack number 4, sleep. Look, if there's anything I think I'm reading more and more and more studies about, it's sleep. It helps regulate your hunger hormones. When you're not getting enough sleep, what happens is your hunger hormone. So ghrelin is the hormone that it tells you you're hungry. Leptin is the hormone that lets you know you're full. When you don't get enough sleep, those hormones, leptin, reverses. And studies have shown people who don't get good quality sleep, it's not about length of time, but good quality sleep, eat more. They eat more because being tired, you're looking for foods with that quick serotonin boost to give you the boost. So that's often high carbohydrate, high sugar. It's when you're tired, you want a coffee and a muffin or a coffee and a croissant or something like that, or pasta, something that's going to give me a boost. So when you're not sleeping well, and because over Christmas that can be really challenging with everything you've got to do, your hunger hormones are not regulating properly. So when you do sleep soundly, boost your metabolism again, up comes that inflammation thing again, reduces inflammation, increases that executive brain function, and promotes brain health. So your sleep is incredibly important. So let me give you some tips about how you can do that throughout Christmas. So you want to look at foods that are good for sleep. Things like turkey, believe it or not, tryptophan, high amounts of tryptophan in turkey that will help you sleep. Kiwi fruit is another one. Melatonin exists in kiwi fruit. A lot of nuts that will help with increasing your ability to sleep. Hummus is another really good thing to increase your protein and contains tryptophan. The other thing when you want to look at sleep is the timing, not going without, but the timing. One of those things is wine. And if you like a glass of wine, as we all do, a glass of champagne, as we all do, or two or three, the rule of thumb to help you sleep is 1 glass of wine, 1 glass of water 1 hour before bed, 2 glasses of wine, 2 glasses of water 2 hours before bed, the rest. So the timing of drinking the wine at night in particular is important. Same with eating chocolate or any high sugar foods. It's the timing. You don't want to be eating chocolate or things like ice cream at least 2 or 3 hours before bed, because they'll cause a blood sugar spike, because blood sugar level spikes, right? And then about 6 or 7 hours later, that drops, and it's often around 3 a.m. and that will wake you up. And of course, coffee goes without saying. I know a lot of people say to me, I can drink coffee. I would measure your quality of sleep, not necessarily the duration, because you want to sleep in cycles. Remember, about 5 or 6 90-minute cycles is what you're looking at. We come in and out of deep REM sleep and into light sleep all the way through the night, and coffee can disturb that. So you want to be looking at your timing. And of course, the other thing to do, 10 minutes in the morning, sitting in the sun without sunglasses on, creates serotonin. So the brain serotonin is increased. But also what happens is the opposite of that is melatonin. So as the sun goes down, more melatonin is produced. You can also ramp that up by going for a walk at sunset without sunglasses on again to produce that melatonin, and that can really help you sleep. Those are the things we're kind of missing. We tend to go out in sunglasses all the time. We tend to, if you're getting on your phone or you're sitting inside, rather than getting out in the sunshine in that early morning. And of course, we're going into summer. It's fairly easy to do. You get that beautiful morning sun without damage to your skin. But you want to increase your vitamin D and also produce more melatonin. Hack number 5, meditate daily. Your meditation is so critical, important to reduce your stress, and especially over Christmas. Oh my goodness. It's the time you're going to need more meditation, not less, especially this year. Especially this year. It's tough out there, and nobody quite knows what's going to happen. When you meditate, you kind of come to self. You calm down. I've created a whole series of 20-minute meditations and visualizations that you can do while you're lying down. And it's a great habit to get the kids into too, teaching them meditation and mindfulness. Heaps of studies around people who meditate and practice mindfulness more likely to reach for healthier foods because your brain is calm. Remember our brain's always trying to keep us safe. And so when you're highly stressed and things are really hard, your brain is naturally going to want you to reach for serotonin boosting things, which are often foods. And it's really interesting, isn't it? Because remember when lockdowns first started back in March 2020, everybody went home and baked bread and baked cakes. Well, the reason for that was everyone was stressed, and cakes and bread create serotonin. And so we were looking for that sort of wrapping around feeling more, oh my God, am I safe? Will I be okay? I need a little bit of love. The world's a bit crazy. And so meditation can help boost that serotonin levels again and reduce the stress. Hack number 6, tap regularly. Boy, are you going to need that this Christmas. Tapping has been shown to reduce the levels of cortisol up to 30%. And when you tap to release stress, lowering that cortisol level, again, you're helping your body rid your body of visceral fat. Visceral fat, as I mentioned before, is not about food and exercise. That's not enough to get rid of. That's subcutaneous fat. You can easily do that, but it's not enough. This needs a whole approach. And I've been practicing tapping now for 7 years, nearly 8 years now, and this is just calms you straight like that, just like that. And with all the Christmas stuff, I don't know how you may have family this Christmas that don't think like you do. You may not be with family this year, and that's we're going into our 3rd Christmas now without our family anywhere, and that's really hard. Tapping can help you kind of release that stress. So you're not reaching for foods to try and calm the stress. You're not reaching for the alcohol to try and calm the stress. You calm the stress and then you make better choices. That's quite simply it. And hack number 7, I think this is really, really, really important this year, and that's practicing forgiveness. And again, you could be at Christmas functions where people don't think like you. They'll question you in your choices, no matter which way, no matter where you're sitting. And the practice of Ho'oponopono and forgiveness is probably one of the best things you can do, where you release the emotional connection to being triggered. And if you know how to do this, is practicing the forgiveness, especially with Ho'oponopono and EFT combined together, your stress and emotion, your levels of cortisol are lowered, so you react differently. And when you react differently, your visceral fat is being released. You're letting go of it. It's like you're calming the body. So let me have a look at some comments here. Yeah, Alicia, exactly. It's so powerful, isn't it? I really love it. It's, in fact, it's my number one every day, just what I do now, without even thinking about it. Just one of the things that's part of my life. And if I don't meditate, you might be the same, Alicia. If I don't meditate, I know it. I know that my day just doesn't roll as well. So those are the 7 hacks. Now, as I mentioned before, this is not the year to be waiting till after Christmas to look after your health. This is the year to be focused on it. And that's why I'm relaunching this Stronger, Leaner, Lighter 12-week online program. It starts Monday. And this program involves everything we just talked about, how to eat consciously, how to fast intermittently, how to exercise mindfully, how to sleep soundly, all strategies around that. EFT and tapping, meditation, my exercise, 9-minute exercise, and I've also added a 12-minute one as well to help you get through Christmas without leaving your body, without impacting on your body. And I'll just put, if you're interested, there is the information there. I'm just going to pop it in the chats as well. You can find out more about it. Oh, wrong one. You can find out more about it. Oh God, where is it? Okay, I'm going to use this one. I'll put it in the link in the comments when the show is finished. But if you're interested, you can find out more by we can have a chat. You can talk to me on Calendly, or you can head to www.strongerleanerlighter.com for more information about the program. Starts on Monday, and as I said, if you want to have a chat with me about it, just head over here. And book a chat with me on Calendly, and I can share more about it. But, this is really the year for caring for yourself. I'm just trying to get it up. There we go. Caring for your body, and not a time to wait. If you really want to start 2022 off, you need to start now. Waiting till mid-January is not going to work. It's just not going to work. So there is the information if you want to have a chat with me. The website is www.strongerleanerlighter.com, and that will help you to feel stronger, leaner, lighter prior to Christmas. So you're ready. So, you know, in the lead up and all those Christmas parties, that you are able to really, you know, release that visceral fat, be ready for those borders to be open, knowing you're feeling stronger, leaner, lighter. And can I just tell you the confidence you'll feel when you know you're caring for your health, and begin that process of releasing the visceral fat way before Christmas, and, you know, gaining more as we're going along. All right, everybody, thank you very much for being on the show today. It's great chatting to you a little bit over time. I look forward to speaking to you next week on the Stronger Leaner Show.